Moviegoers have been treated to some pretty fantastic fight scenes over the years, and from the looks of it, they're only getting better and better. From brutal spy-on-spy brawls to epic superhero showdowns, here are the movie fight scenes you need to watch before you die. When it comes to slugfest, they don't get any trippier than the dream fight in Inception. This Christopher Nolan film features Joseph Gordon-Levitt duking it out within Cillian Murphy's subconscious as they try to navigate a hallway that just won't stop spinning. It's one of the most impressive scenes in Christopher Nolan's blockbusting filmography, and it was achieved thanks largely to a 100-foot set hooked to 8 giant rings. The rings in turn were hooked to motors, allowing the hallway to rotate 360 degrees, and a camera was mounted to the set in order to properly capture the action. Naturally, maneuvering down the hallway was a little tricky, and Gordon-Levitt spent 2 weeks of prep time trying to get the moves just right. The actor would even imagine Bach music in order to time his steps and hit his marks. But there was also the issue of motion sickness, and as Gordon-Levitt explained to E! Online, he discovered a unique way of fighting against nausea. The actor explained, "I couldn't think of the floor being the floor and the ceiling being the ceiling. I had to think of it like, this is the ground. Okay, now this is the ground, and now this is the ground. It was just that the ground was always moving under me. That was the mind game I had to play to make it work." The Avengers was a game changer for modern-day blockbusters. It basically kickstarted the concept of cinematic universes and proved to Hollywood that superhero movies really were here to stay. It was also the culmination of 4 years' worth of build-up, finally uniting the world's mightiest heroes in an epic, citywide battle against a horde of alien invaders. With Loki at the head, the Chitauri show up in Manhattan ready to take a Leviathan-sized bite out of the Big Apple. But while Loki has an army, the Avengers have a Hulk, as well as a demigod, a super soldier, a couple of master assassins, and a genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. Before long, the battle has hit its peak, and in between all the action, the movie delivers a hero shot for the ages. Of course, the real heroes here are the CGI artists. Since it's hard to set off explosions in New York or fly down the street for a helicopter shot, almost the entirety of the Battle of New York was created on computers. While the actors mostly performed in front of a green screen, the wizards at Industrial Light and Magic shot approximately 7 miles of New York and captured shots from 35 different rooftops. Then they used these images to create 20 blocks of battlefield. Pretty much everything you see, including the buildings, the cars, and the fire hydrants, is all digital. The John Wick franchise is basically made up of one amazing action spectacle after another. Take that first movie, for example. There's the scene where Wick slaughters a gang of home invaders, or the moment when he goes toe-to-toe with the deadly Miss Perkins.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back!
Most impressive of all, however, is the sequence where Wick takes out an army of bodyguards in a bloody nightclub shootout. Hunting a Russian mobster who foolishly killed his dog, Wick shows up at the Red Circle, hoping to exact a little revenge. As he pursues his prey through the club, the taciturn assassin is assaulted on all sides by gangsters, but they're no match for John Wick's gung fu. There's not a moment wasted as Baba Yaga flips bad guys and fires bullets in a ballet of violence that would make John Woo himself green with envy. The scene comes off flawlessly, thanks in part to Reeves' dedication to his craft. The actor spent 4 months training for 5 days a week in both judo and jiu-jitsu, and when he wasn't working on his combat skills, he was practicing with firearms. That hard work totally paid off, however, allowing directors Chad Stahelski and David Leitch to film in long, uninterrupted takes, because their star was pretty much a martial arts pro. For a long time, From Russia with Love held the #1 spot when it came to James Bond fistfights, until Spectre showed up, that is. Sure, the movie might not have been quite as good as Skyfall or Casino Royale, but the brawl between Craig Bond and Mr. Hinks was a throwdown for the ages. The fight takes place on a train traveling through Morocco, and all Bond wants to do is spend an evening with his latest ladylove, Madeline. Unfortunately, their fine dining experience is interrupted when all 289 pounds of Dave Bautista shows up ready to rumble. What follows is nearly 3 minutes of absolute savagery, a fight so intense that both stars suffered nasty injuries as a result. Craig was the first to go down after suffering a knee injury. The Brit had to take 2 weeks off from filming in order to get surgery, but just a few days after the accident, he was back and ready for business. And when Craig returned, he got a little revenge on Bautista. As the wrestler-turned-actor told Entertainment Weekly, "There's one part where Daniel lands a punch and you just heard it. My nose just splattered blood." The Captain America movies have some of the best fight scenes in the MCU, but if one comes out on top of the rest, it's gotta be the epic airport battle featuring pretty much every hero in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Seriously, this is the mother of all superhero fights. Want to see Captain America have a martial arts duel with Black Panther? Sure. Fancy seeing Scarlet Witch toss a car on top of Tony Stark? Go nuts. Always dreamed of Spider-Man swinging circles around a giant-sized Ant-Man? You've got it. This fight has all that and more, making it feel like it's been ripped straight from the pages of a comic book.
What the hell is that? Everyone's got a gimmick now.
Unfortunately, the scene wasn't quite as much fun for the actors and stunt people involved. It took 30 days to film this baby. 3 at the actual airports in Germany, and 27 in Atlanta, where the costumed actors and their doubles had to deal with 100-degree weather. For obvious reasons, this was particularly tough on Paul Rudd and Chadwick Boseman, so you've got to doff your caps to those guys for putting up with the Southern sun and helping make Marvel movie history. Unlike almost every other Marvel film, Logan is a movie featuring actual gore. Sure, Wolverine has stabbed people plenty of times, but the X-Men movies have never shown actual geysers of blood before. Logan, however, brings a whole new level of realism to superhero fight scenes, and it gets even grislier when Logan teams up with Laura, an adorable little monster with a penchant for beheading bad guys. The duo proves especially effective when they finally faced off against the Reavers, the evil goons sent to hunt down a team of mutant children. And their final showdown in the woods pits modern-day weapons against animal instinct. The two heroes go into full-on berserker mode, and after handily dispatching their human foes, they turn their attention to X-24, the younger, stronger version of Logan himself. The end result is one of the most brutal and emotional fight scenes in comic book movie history, and one of the hardest to watch, too. Mad Max Fury Road could easily have crashed like any of the other sequels to cult movies that have hit theaters in recent years. Instead, it cruised to $154 million domestic, $375 million worldwide, and earned 10 Oscar nominations and 6 wins. Not bad for a movie that was nearly shut down by the studio.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
And the reason for the movie's success is simple. It's friggin' awesome. But making Fury Road was no walk in the park. For one thing, the months-long shoot put Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron nearly at each other's throats, but they at least put that aggression to good use. Picking just one fight out of a 2-hour car chase may be like picking a pebble from a rock pile, but Mad Max and Furiosa's battle has the raw intensity and creative choreography to make it truly special. As Furiosa defends Immortan Joe's escaped brides, Max fights for his own freedom while still imprisoned behind a metallic mask and handcuffed to Nicholas Holt's unconscious warboy. Stunt choreographer Greg Van Borsen put the whole thing together, while Margaret Sixel edited it to perfection, for which she rightly won an Oscar. Most fight scenes you watch, this one you can really feel. The battle to wear the crown of King of the Monsters kinda has to be epic by definition. Luckily, it really was. While critics were lukewarm on the movie and the box office drew in a disappointing $386 million worldwide, critics and fans agreed the kaiju fight scenes in Godzilla King of the Monsters were downright awesome. The climactic clash takes place in Boston after Ghidorah has wreaked unholy havoc, beckoning titans from across the globe, asserting himself as the Monster King and plunging the planet into chaos. Meanwhile, Godzilla has emerged from his oxygen destroyer-induced coma after getting juiced with a 20-megaton atomic bomb, and he's ready to retake his throne. You can probably guess what happens next. Godzilla and Ghidorah battled on screen many times before, but this was a truly special showdown, due in part to the fact that it was brought to life by $175 million worth of Hollywood SFX. Two-time Oscar winner Guillaume Rocheron supervised the 1,535 visual effects shots used in the film, which were dispersed around several VFX shops. To create the godlike nature of the beasts themselves, the team referenced Renaissance paintings and posed the monsters like creatures from Greek mythology. The final result? Epic is the right word. The Mission Impossible franchise is chock full of fistfights and throwdowns, but no fight scene was as instantly iconic as Fallout's bathroom brawl scene. All due respect to Tom Cruise, but the main reason this scene rocks is the muscle-bound, mustachioed Henry Cavill as Ethan Hunt's fellow secret agent Walker, who even famously cocks his fists as if his biceps were 2 double-barreled shotguns about to unload a beatdown. Cavill said he and Cruise actually trained separately with each other's respective doubles until the fight choreography was drilled into their muscle memory. The bathroom fight ultimately took 4 weeks to shoot, and on the last day, Cavill and Cruise admitted they were both in considerable pain. Luckily, all their efforts paid off. Fallout received the best reviews of the series and the best box office returns too, earning $220 million domestically and $787 million worldwide. Talk about coming out on top. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.